In this video, we're going to talk about Lake Mead. Now, it's a name you've probably heard in the news, right? But this massive body of water is so much more than just a headline. It's a true engineering marvel, a coup at the lifeline, and honestly, a place just full of surprises. So let's start right here. Just picture this for a second. You're in the middle of the Mojave Desert, one of the driest places in all of North America. And then all of a sudden, you see this huge expanse of deep blue water stretching out to the horizon. And no, it is not a mirage. It's Lake Mead, one of the most important reservoirs in the entire United States. So to really get a handle on this place, we'll first look at what it is, then try to grasp its incredible scale. After that, we'll see why it's a lifeline for millions, explore its ecosystem, and we gotta finish with some fun facts you probably haven't heard before. Let's get into it. Well, okay, so let's start with the absolute fundamentals. What exactly is Lake Mead? First off, where is it? Well, Lake Mead sits right on the border of Nevada and Arizona. It's just 39 kilometers east of the Las Vegas Strip, a massive desert oasis that's in such stark contrast to the neon glow of the city right next door. What's so fascinating is that Lake Mead isn't a natural lake at all. Nope, it was actually born from one of the greatest engineering projects in history, the Hoover Dam. When that dam was built to tame the mighty Colorado River, this massive reservoir was created. So after construction was authorized way back in 1928, the lake began to fill up in 1935, and it was named after Elwood Mead, the guy who oversaw the entire project. But to really truly understand Lake Mead, we have to talk about its scale. And it's hard to overstate just how massive this lake is. The numbers, well, they're staggering. So when the lake is full, its surface covers an incredible 640 square kilometers. Just try to imagine an area of water that vast, sitting right in the middle of the desert. And it's not just wide, it is deep. At its deepest point, the lake plunges down 162 meters. That's basically like submerging a 50-story building. But this is the number that's truly mind-bending. Its total capacity is over 32 billion cubic meters of water. That incredible volume is what makes it the largest reservoir in the entire nation and so critically important to millions of people. And the effect of that massive scale, it's literally etched right into the canyon walls. You've probably seen pictures of this, the famous bathtub ring. It's this stark white wine of mineral deposits, showing you exactly how high water level used to be. It's like a visual record of the lake's history. So why does a lake of this size even exist here in the first place? Well, it turns out it's an absolutely essential lifeline for the entire American Southwest. It really all comes down to one thing: water. Nearly 20 million people across Arizona, California, and Nevada depend on Lake Mead for, well, everything. From the drinking water in major cities to irrigating huge areas of farmland. But it's not just about survival, Lake Mead is also a world-class playground. It draws more than 8 million visitors every single year for things like boating, fishing, and swimming. It's a massive economic and recreational engine for the whole region. So we know it's big, and we know it's important to people. But what's actually going on inside the water? Let's take a closer look at the ecosystem. First question, where does all that water come from? The answer is pretty simple: the Colorado River. This one river, fed by snowmelt from the Rocky Mountains, accounts for a staggering 97% of all the water flowing into Lake Mead. And what lives in that water? Well, there is a surprising amount of life, actually, including fish like carp, catfish, and largemouth bass. And while you'll find plants like cattails along some of the shores, the steep, rocky terrain and those fluctuating water levels mean that really dense plant life is pretty rare. Now, with a major city like Las Vegas so close by, you might be wondering about pollution. But according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the water quality is generally excellent, rated good for both recreation and the health of the aquatic life. So how is that even possible? Well, it really comes down to a pretty simple process. Urban runoff does enter the lake through what's called the Las Vegas Wash, and yeah, it carries low levels of contaminants. But here's the key. The lake's sheer volume is so immense that it acts like a natural dilution tank, spreading those contaminants out to very, very low, manageable concentrations. Okay, now for my favorite part. Every great landmark has its secrets, and Lake Mead is definitely no exception. Let's uncover a few of them. I want you to just think about this for a second. With a lake this deep and this old, what could possibly be hiding way down in the depths? The answer is a ghost town. The entire town of St. Thomas, which was settled by pioneers, was completely flooded when the lake began to fill up in the 1930s. When water levels are low, the town's foundations reappear, and you can actually walk through the remains of a community that was swallowed by the water decades ago. How cool is that? Here's another fact to really put its size in perspective. Because of all its canyons and little inlets, the shoreline of Lake Mead is over 1,200 kilometers long. Get this, that's longer than the entire Pacific coastline of California. It's just an incredibly complex and sprawling body of water. And finally, think about this for a moment. The lake is so vast that it's a very, very slow journey from one end to the other. If you were a single drop of water entering from the Colorado River, it would take you, on average, 2.6 years to travel all the way through the Lake and out the Hoover Dam. It's like a slow-motion river on an absolutely epic scale. Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.